1989, the park was nearly complete. Our investors demanded on-site approval, and I, idiotically as it now turned out, believed we were ready. The debacle of August 27th, 1989 is now quite well known, and the legal consequences were, as you may well imagine, rather extensive. I still believe Nedry left himself a back door, something about the hobbits or God knows what. When it became known that I was bankrupt, workers simply dropped their tools and walked away. Buildings were stripped of everything valuable. And we sealed off the town, save for a few crucial gates, southward to the lowlands, eastward to the power plant and laboratory. We sealed the eastern gate for the last time. Gazing from my study window, I hit on a simple mnemonic for the passcode. Like Nedry, I felt I needed to keep a back door open. As we left, we vandalized our own locking mechanisms. InGen tolerates no trespassers. Technicians and workmen crowded round the docks, fearing they might be left behind when the security ring collapsed. Armed guards stood watch. 2 German technicians were accused of conspiring to walk out with crucial research materials. They had planned to breach the main computer vault and remove some of the data stored there. No proof was ever found. I gave myself over to the strange, lonely discipline of the market, investment strategies and profit. I stood apart, master of codes and lost worlds, of heat and cold, and the sleep of 100 million years. A lost world is a sort of scientific myth, an evolutionary scenario in which an ecosystem is isolated and preserved. The rest of the world changes, leaving a tiny, fragile pocket where ancient species survive. October 1996. The InGen Corporation is taken out of my hands by a vote of the Board of Directors.
Thereby be it resolved that John Parker Hammond should be removed from the office of Chief Executive Officer, effective immediately.
My nephew dispatches his team. The hunters landed on May 13th, 1997, deep in the island's southwest. Most of them had worked at my African parks for years. They never stood a chance. Hunting dinosaurs is quite a tricky business. I recommend helicopters, if you've got them. Lindstrat guns, by the way, Swedish-made, unbeatable for accuracy and rate of fire. American-made tranquilizer darts. The effect changes with the target's body mass, temperament, and mood. I believe the phrase is, results may vary. The InGen hunting party carried the passcodes for our perimeter fences. The hunters scattered, their prearranged hunting routes forgotten. Only a third of their number appeared at the rendezvous. Martin A.S., still missing. Karamcheti V., still missing. Sullivan R.M., still missing. LaSalle P., still missing. Van Hall S.T., also still missing. Listrata A.L., deceased. Some of my personal papers had been transferred to diskette.
Dilophosaurus means two-crested lizard, which of course refers to the brightly coloured bony ridges that jut out from its head. But don't let that beautiful and ornate headdress fool you. This is a vicious carnivore with the ability to spit paralysing venom. I myself have observed them hunting together in highly organised packs, immobilising their prey and then gutting them with razor-sharp claws. Not a pretty sight. The distinctive features of the Triceratops with its 3 impressive facial horns makes it familiar to nearly everyone. I must admit that the trike is certainly one of my personal favourites. Weighing in at about 11 tons, this slow-moving plant-eater has an immense skull, over 8 feet long. And although they travel together in large herds, the males tend to compete for territory by jousting with one another, which is absolutely spectacular.
My work lies where I left it. If there is anyone brave enough and clever enough to take it and return the keys to time, perhaps the foundation of a new empire. I can picture them moving cautiously through the dusty rooms in bulky biohazard gear, clutching rifles, poring over our records, reading our files. As I write this, tiles are cracking, smeared with windblown dirt and animal tracks. Thick tree roots are pushing up through the asphalt. The island settles itself, beginning to erase all trace of us. Water seeped into everything. The technology, the real trick of it, is still in there. In a darkened room in an empty building with a dirty floor, it waits. The flashpoint, the origin of Jurassic Park. Creation is an act of sheer will, and next time it'll be flawless. On that last day, I stood apart from the rest of them. The helicopters were setting down. Before me, the jungle spread out, and I saw that a savage, primal age had begun again. Come on, son. Get us out of here. I met a traveller from an antique land who said, "Two vast and trunkless legs of stone stand in the desert. Near them, on the sand, half sunk a shattered visage lies, whose frown and wrinkled lip and sneer of cold command tell that its sculptor well those passions read which yet survive, stamped on these lifeless things, the hand that mocked them, and the heart that fed." And on the pedestal these words appear: "My name is Ozymandias, King of Kings. Look on my works, ye mighty, and despair. Nothing beside remains. Round the decay of that colossal wreck, boundless and bare, the lone and level sands stretch far away."